Hi guys. It's been about 4 years, 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 days, 7 hours, 8 minutes and 52 seconds since I first stepped foot in the UK. Yeah, okay, so the seconds and the minutes, whatever, I'm not so sure about that. Just wanted to add some spice. Yeah, so approximately I've been in the UK for 4 years, okay? 4 years is such a long time. God knows the lessons I have learned. I have learned quite a number of lessons. Honestly, I've always wanted to do this video, so I make sure that anytime I learn a lesson, I put it down in my notes on my phone. I've learned quite a number of lessons, guys. I'm not even joking. Look, lessons learned. Look. Anytime life teaches me any lesson in this UK here, I note it down. Finally have the chance to do this video. Guys, I've learned so much, but I think I will pick the top 10 lessons, the top 10 crucial lessons that I have learned over the 4-year period, okay? Whether you're already in the UK, whether you're looking to relocate to the UK, whether you've been in the UK even longer, I'm sure you still benefit from this video, okay? I'm sure it will still be helpful to you. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Guys, listen, I'm so excited to show you my first ever luxury bag. Oh, this was sent to me by Teddy Blake. Guys, yes, Teddy Blake. This is the Ava Croco Gold 11-inch blue jeans bag. And boy, I love it. Teddy Blake no doubt makes the best designer handmade bags in the world, no doubt. Teddy Blake bags are made by a team of Italian designers pitched from well-known luxury brands. Teddy Blake creates handbag designs for every style choice. You can shop your Teddy Blake bag with the link in the description, or better still, use the code TBNANEL30 to get extra 30% off your purchase, okay? All the links will be in the description as well. Thank you so much, Teddy Blake, for sponsoring today's video. Hi, my name is Nanel Griselda. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, I talk about ways to relocate to the UK, nursing, and life in the UK as an immigrant in general. So if these are topics that interest you, kindly consider subscribing. Lesson number 1, remember, someone is always watching. Therefore, be honest and just do the right thing, okay? In this UK here, it's like someone is always watching. 90% of the time, you will not get away with doing something wrong 90% of the time. I remember there's this friend of mine, he's a Ghanaian brother, okay? And then he said one day he went somewhere, he was driving, and then he hit someone's car, okay? It wasn't really like a big deal, it was like a tiny like scratch or a dent or whatever. I don't remember the exact thing he said. So he got down from the car, but to see if the person would come around, he waited and waited. The person did not come around, okay? He waited. He said he waited. The person did not come around, see? So he decided to just leave. At the end of the day, he can't wait like all day, and then he had somewhere to go and the person is not showing up, so he decided to leave, right? And then he left. Weeks later, he said he was in his house, and then he heard a knock on the door. Guess who it was? The police. They've traced him. This happened weeks ago, and apparently this thing was sent to court. He says, Nanel, I went to court back and forth for 2 years before the case came to an end. For 2 good years. What happened apparently was that there was somebody in his room watching outside the entire time. So this person saw my friend hit the person's car. This person noted my friend's car number down, and then later when the owner of the car came, said, this is the car that hit you, and that person also straight ahead reported to the police. And you know, when they have one detail of yours, they can get everything else, where you live. They can even trace the color of the dress your mother was wearing on the day she gave birth to you. Someone is always watching. Sometimes it's not even a physical person. I have a friend who's also a nurse in England, and then he does the agency in this care home that pays a lot, right? So he's always going there, and one time they called him. Guess what? One resident's family came to visit the resident, and they brought this stuffed animal like a teddy bear. Apparently, the eyes of the teddy bear, they had hidden camera because their grandmother or their mother or whoever was the resident was always complaining that they're not being taken care of well in the care home. Family wanted to know for themselves because they did not believe it, and then they hid cameras. These days, you know, even somebody can hide camera in their hair. Like even a pen can be a camera and you not know. So they hid camera. You can imagine what happened. I think the camera ran for like 2 days. Luckily, my friend was off all those days. case, but several nurses in that care home got into massive trouble. As for the carers that got into trouble, the least speaking about it, the better. You can only imagine. So that is what I always tell myself, Nanelle, somebody's watching. Nanelle, somebody's watching. Be careful. I do that to myself all the time. And I think if you make this your motto, it will save you from a lot of trouble, honestly. Lesson number 2. In Rome, we do what the Romans do. I'm sure you guys have watched my video where 2 of my friends, nurses, were arrested. A man and the wife, they were arrested because they allegedly beat their child. If you have not watched that video, I'll link it in the description so you can watch. Okay? In Africa, beating a child is discipline. Like, I always say this. I have marks on my body from my mommy hitting me, and I carry those marks with pride. To her, it's discipline. To her, that's how she knows how to raise a kid. Okay, and that's what she was taught. For most people watching me, where we are from, hitting a child is okay. Okay, but here it's not like that. You want to live in the UK, you have to go by their rules. Okay, if you don't want to get into trouble. Let me tell you this: don't let that stubborn child be the reason you end up spending a day or 2 in jail. No, don't give that baby the chance. Let them be. Don't hit them. Find other ways to discipline them, honestly. And even aside hitting children, okay, most people watching me are from countries where same-sex relationships are prohibited. In some countries it's illegal. You can actually be arrested for it. However, here they say equality and diversity. There's a story of this lady who was at work and somebody came to ask her, what do you think about same-sex marriage, blah blah blah, and then she said, since I'm a Christian, blah 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 blah. I don't even want to repeat what she said because I can't even get into trouble. And this person went to report her and she was sacked, and it became like a big deal. She lost her job, blah blah blah. The same way racism is prohibited in the UK, that's the same way discriminating against somebody based on their sexual orientation or whatever is also prohibited. Equality and diversity, they call it. In Rome, we do what the Romans do. So my African people, my fellow, people, keep your thoughts on homosexuality to yourself when you're here. Keep it to yourself. People have lost their jobs through that. Keep it to yourself. We don't need to hear it. Let it stay in your head. Please. They'll say you are homophobic. That is how they will interpret it. Please. Lesson number 3. Don't assume they are good people because they are from your country, because they are from your continent, because they have the same skin color. Don't assume somebody is good because they are black. Don't assume somebody is good because they are from your country when you get to the UK. The nastiest lesson I've learned in this UK here is by trusting people that I thought were my sisters, or I thought was my, because they are from Africa or whatever. The nastiest lesson I've learned, okay? See, sometimes a white person can even do you better than a black person will do you. I remember when I first came to the UK, I was desperately searching for an apartment. We all know how getting your first apartment is extremely difficult. And then I got one, and they said I should get a guarantor, somebody to sign for me, like a guarantor. And I went to one of the nurses in my workplace who was black. She said, no, I'm not signing. I'm like, but I'm a nurse, I'm going to get paid, I'll pay. She said, no, I'm not signing. She didn't sign. I went to my manager says the company legally is not supposed to guarantee for such stuff. Understood. My own black sister, she said she's not signing. No problem. Another lady joined, Adama, I've interviewed her on my channel before. Adama joined our care home, and she also got a place and she needed somebody to sign. A white nurse from Ireland here signed for Adama as her guarantor. When you're going to get your provisional driver's license, they need somebody to sign that they've known you for a while. This white nurse signed, and she did not lie. She said, I've only known her for 4 months. She wrote, but she signed, and Adama did get it. My own sisters did not sign. I lost the place. I ended up using my husband's auntie in London, all the way in London. At the time, I'd never even met her. She signed for me. See what I'm talking about? Trusting them, telling them your secrets because you think they are... Don't! Guys, don't! Okay? You see the greed, the hatred that our own people have back home. That's the same character that some people bring here as well. So don't be deceived. Don't think this is from my country, so she's good. Please. Okay. If you've gotten any value from the video so far, please hit the like button. Hit the like button for me, okay? Thank you. Lesson number 4, work as much as you can when you can, okay? When I came, I was single. I was not married. I didn't have a baby. And I'm glad I did that. I worked so hard when I came. I worked so hard. When I came as a newbie, all the nurses that had been there longer than I had been, none of them was even doing agency. I did agency. Meanwhile, they had more experience, but I started agency. I started doing extra shifts in other care homes, getting that experience and getting that knowledge from working with other people in other care homes and working in in different environments and getting that extra money. And it did help me, okay? When I was in the house, when I got pregnant and I wasn't making much, I had money somewhere that I could rely on, okay? You don't know what's going to happen. It could be sickness. It could be circumstances in life may change. You might not be able to work as much. It could be sickness. It could be family. It could be whatever, so work as much as you can when you can, and you will not regret it, okay? Fifth lesson is save as much as you can when you can. So one thing that I always wanted to do, even before I moved to the UK, was to make sure I'm saving as much as I can when I can. I remember when I was planning my wedding and it was just a few days to the wedding, I was in the UK and I had paid for the things that I needed to pay for, my tickets, everything, everything, all the expenses, blah, blah, blah. And then I showed somebody my account balance after I had paid for the necessary things. And the person was like, what? After you've paid for the stuff you're supposed to pay for, this is how much you have? Like, they were shocked. And it's because I made a conscious effort that, no, I'm going to save as much as I can when I can. And I have been so proud of myself that I've been able to do that. And that's so many people that come to the UK, they think, oh, next month I'll do 5 overtime shifts and I'll make this much, so it's not going to be a problem. So they don't save as much as they can when they can. When I came, people were buying big cars. No shade to anybody buying like big cars, but I bought a car that was less than £3,000, okay? I bought a car that was around £2,600 and I'm still using that car to date. I bought a house, I'm still using that car to date. That car is what my husband and I are using till date, okay? After 4 years, that's what we're still using. I could have easily gotten a big car where I'll be paying £500 or £400 a month or even £200 a month, but I felt like I was not ready. I could have easily gone to London because maybe I want to have fun, but I felt like I want to pay less rent, so let me come here. You can do things like you have your free will to do things, but I wanted to make conscious effort to save as much. So I was trying to cut costs in any way that I could so that I could save as much, okay? And I think it's been really, really helpful. Like, for instance, like recently, my husband and I, in fact, the whole family got sick and we were home for a while. As a matter of fact, my husband has stayed home for from 3rd December to 3rd January. He's been home. For the first 2 weeks, he was nursing me because I was sick. And then later when I recovered, he got sick as well. So he had to stay home. He got COVID. So imagine if we were living hand to mouth. We've lost a whole, almost a month of income. How are we going to fend? Okay. But because we plan our budgets, we save as much as we can when we can. It doesn't really affect us that much. I know somebody that had to borrow money all around when she was going for her kids. Meanwhile, she had been in the UK for a while, but when it was time for her to go and bring her kids, she had to borrow money all around the place. And meanwhile, this person was doing all the shifts in the world. This person was dashing money around. This person was, in the UK, if you let the system fool you, you think you can save in the future, but you'll not be able to save. Because if you want a Range Rover, they will give you. Okay, so far as you have good credit, they will give you. If you want whatever, most things you can easily get if you have good credit. But think about how much you'll be paying monthly, and think about the cumulative figure you'll be paying. It might not seem a lot, but when you add all these things together, you'll be paying quite a lot of money. Somebody will not cook and will buy food outside from morning to evening. Okay, and then we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Sickness can let you stay home for a while, or something can happen in the house where you have to send bulk of your money. Okay, we pray that never happens, but should that happen, do you have a backup? Okay, I always advise that you have at least 3 to 6 months of your usual monthly earnings in your account stuck somewhere that you don't touch. So if your family spends, let's say, £2,000 every month, you should have at least £6,000 stuck somewhere that is there, safe somewhere there, okay, that you don't touch, just in case of emergencies. That's what we call the emergency fund. Save as much as you can when you can. Okay, lesson 6, be careful with investments back home. I cannot stress on this enough. I cannot stress on this enough. Be careful with investments back home. Be careful. I know this lady, I don't know if she's watching, she might not be happy of me saying this. She works so hard. This lady can work 7 days a week. She's the most, aside my mom, she's the most hardworking person I've ever known in my life. She works as a carer. Okay, she can work 6 or 7 days each week, and she makes money because she was buying a house back in her home country. Okay, always sending money, always sending money. She eventually did. She was able to buy the house. Okay, but she was not going home. Okay, apparently this, I don't know whether it was a waterlogged area or it was an issue to do with the plumbing. The house got flooded. The entire new built house got flooded, and it was so bad. She was so depressed. This is her hard-earned cash. This lady sacrifices all it. So bad. See, if you want to do something back home, keep going. Like, sacrifice money for tickets. Go back home. Go have a look at it. See what's happening. If there's somebody you trust. I mean, if you still go have a look at it. If it's a piece of land, if it's a house the person is putting up, still go have a look. There are people in that same country and they have trusted people to do stuff for them, projects for them, and they have been deceived. How much less you, who is about 6 hours flight away, okay? So be careful. You've worked so hard for your money to just go down the drain. If you're investing with something back home, please go have a look at it once in a while, okay? Lesson 7, be suspicious of every call, every text, every email that you get. Be suspicious, okay? I've done a video where I spoke about this in detail. There's so many scammers in the UK. The UK is the fraud capital of the world. Honestly, there's so many scammers in the UK, and if you don't take care, you lose your money within a second, okay? There are some nurses that lost their money because they thought they had been contacted by HMRC. They said they were owing tax because out of fear, they don't want to be in trouble. They paid, and apparently it was scammers, okay? Be careful, guys. I have a video where I spoke about the popular scams in the UK, the ways and forms they come in, and what you can do to protect yourself. So please do protect yourself so you don't get scammed. If it's a call, a text, be suspicious. Even before you pick the call, be suspicious. Don't give your details and don't tap on any link at all, okay? I've fallen a victim. The amount I lost was not much, okay, but people keep trying me. But now, no, nobody's gonna get my money like that, okay? Lesson number 8 is don't always take people's word for it. Do your research as well. Like, you've heard me say something, okay? I always leave links in my description. Tap on the link and have a read for yourself. Maybe some few seconds as well. Just read for yourself. Just verify, okay? It's always good to verify. I remember when I came here, they said I could not get a car. There was not a lot of YouTube videos that could give you this information, okay? That's another reason why I started my YouTube channel, to share these experiences with you and to share all these things with you. So if not for Adama, who went to do research and realized that, oh, we could actually use our Ghana license to drive for a whole year. Meanwhile, I had been here for like 6 months. I've wasted that first 6 months, okay? And I could have gotten a car earlier, and instead of chasing the bus, missing the bus, walking in the snow and all that. So sometimes you just have to do your own research as well, and don't just take people's word for it. Called the bank the last time I wanted to open an ISA account. It was way back, and it told me that because I'm an immigrant, I'm not eligible to open an ISA account. That's what the call handler told me. That's what she thought, okay? And I ended it there. I didn't probe further. I didn't do my own research. It's one of the regrets I have in the UK, not opening an ISA account before buying our house. There are people that got as much as £8,000 because they had ISA account. I helped them to buy their house, or that helped them finish their house, okay? So sometimes don't just take people's word for it. Like, just research, okay? Do your own research as well. Lesson number 9, you are replaceable. So learn to say no when you're tired. What do I mean? There are some nurses or some people that come to the UK here and they're working so hard, and they neglect their families, and they don't really spend so much time with their families, or they're just focused on the money, so they're always working to the detriment of their health, to the detriment of their families, and there's like no social life at all. Honey, you are replaceable, okay? Should anything happen to you today, there's somebody with a CV ready on Indeed waiting to get your place. There's somebody with a CV ready in Ghana waiting to get your place, okay? So take care of yourself. It should be balanced, have a good work-life balance, okay? You are replaceable, so don't kill yourself for that job. Honestly, have a balanced life, okay? Lesson number 10 is you are expected to deliver your best at any point in time. I'm saying this mostly for the healthcare workers. Like, for instance, as a nurse, okay, your limit is, let's say, 5 days a week. You can't go above that, and you know that after 6 days a week you get really tired. See, when the mind is tired, you make a lot of mistakes. You can make medication errors. You can be so tired, so you cannot deliver your best. However, should any issue happen on that shift that you're tired, okay, they will not say this is a sick shift, so we should forgive her. You are still expected to deliver your best. You are still expected to make no medication error. You are still expected to take good care, optimum care of the people in your care. So if you make mistakes because you're tired, nobody's going to say no. So please learn to say no. I don't want this shit because I'm exhausted. Learn to rest when you can, okay? There's so many mistakes that we make when we are tired, and I think we should learn to say no when we are really tired. And that will be my 10th lesson. I'm so curious to know the lessons, that like one major lesson that life has taught you in this UK here. I want to know in the description. And I'm also compiling a video with lessons that people have learned living in the UK. Lessons that maybe I forgot to share based on this is based on my experience, based on your experience. That's maybe there's something important you want to share. I'm happy to feature you in my next video, okay? Send me a 1 minute or 2 minutes video to the lessons that you have learned. Just one lesson lesson, okay, and send it to me at info.nanel@gmail.com. So if you want to maintain the quality of the video you're sending me so it still looks nice, you can send it to me through WeTransfer at info.nanel@gmail.com. I want to compile them and then make them into one video so that people can learn from other people's lessons they have learned as well. Okay, so just a 1 minute or 2 minutes video, send it to me through WeTransfer at info.nanel@gmail.com. Make sure that you're taking it in a horizontal form, not like a vertical form, because this is a YouTube video, not an Instagram post or a TikTok. Okay, and then just your name, how long you've been in the UK, and the major lesson that you have learned, and I'll be happy to feature you in my next video. Okay, hoping that you send that video soon. Okay, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video in any way whatsoever, kindly hit the like button and share in the comments as well what you think. Thank you so much. Bye.